What's up, guys? It's FootboxG here. I would like to thank Swiss Beatbox for having me, because this takeover is about a special announcement. In this takeover, I will talk about the Beatbox board game, as mentioned in the title. And the Beatbox board game is basically my latest project. It's also the reason why I couldn't participate at the Beatbox International Throwdown. So that's it. The Beatbox board game, my latest project, and it's almost ready to go worldwide. And this Beatbox board game is made for beatboxers by beatboxers. There were some beatboxers with me working on it because I needed their help for some special details and stuff, but it's getting there. It will be sold on Pat Webshop, my Beatbox webshop. So yeah, I'm really excited, as you can see. So let's get it. I would like to go with you on the first view of the box of the Beatbox board game. Let's have a look. So here, as you can see, this is the box of the Beatbox board game. This is how the Beatbox board game will look like. As you can see, there's like an image of the platform, what the board will look like. And this board will, or this game will have some pawns, it will have dices, it will have some question cards, it will have some action cards. It will be really cool. And this game is actually made to educate people and to be together with other beatboxers, to learn, to exchange sounds, to learn new sounds, and to learn some interesting facts about beatboxers and our community. So, and like I said, this board game, it contains like pawns, it contains dice, it contains like the board itself, of course, and also some interesting game rules, because those game rules, I will talk later about it, but I will give you like already a little bit of small info. Those game rules are actually kind of subjective, because you as a beatboxer will actually decide who is winning in this game. So that's what the game, that's what makes it so interesting at this game. We'll have a little look too to the backside of the Beatbox board game, I mean of the box itself. Here, as you can see, you already have also a little bit more of info on the, you have also a little bit more of info about the game itself, about the game rules, what's inside in the box and stuff. Like I mentioned before, it will be available, as you can see in the right corner, on Pat Webshop. So guys, by the way, if you don't have your t-shirt already or your merch, go to patwebshop.com. That will really help me. But as I was saying, this Beatbox board game, it already has every detail. So the box is ready, the pawns are kind of ready, every idea is there. But if you would like to make this actually happen and to make sure that this Beatbox board game exists, I could use your help to donate some money to the crowdfunding link. If I'm not mistaken, the crowdfunding link is available in the chat, or it will be somewhere on Swiss Beatbox here in this live stream, or you can go to the website of Swiss Beatbox, because there you will also get some info about this Beatbox board game. So let's move on. We had a view on the side, the side of the box, so like the back side now too. And let's move on to the next page where I'm talking a little bit about the board itself. I would like to thank Arno from Growing Creations and his partner for this amazing design of this board. It's very amazing. And meanwhile I'm talking, I would also like to thank my family, especially my aunt, my parents for helping me, even my girlfriend and Tsuruta for design and also for the professional help and insights and stuff. Very cool. So here on the design, we see that the start position of this board game starts from the bedroom. But maybe before I talk about the start position and stuff, I will talk a little bit about the goal of this actually game. So as you can see on this board, there's like a start mark and there's like an ending mark. And the ending mark is on stage. So actually the goal of this game is to reach the stage as fast as possible. And the one who is reaching the stage is first is the winner. And you can reach the stage by answering some questions right and to fulfill some beatbox actions. And to play the game correctly, of course, which will be helped with the dice and with the question marks and the action cards and stuff. But yeah, let's start from the beginning. Here you can see the bedroom down below on the board, and this is where every pawn starts. So whenever you take the dice and you roll, and imagine you have a 2, then you go 2 places ahead with your pawn or with your game piece. And then, for example, you can land on the question mark there nearby the bedroom. And this question mark means that you actually need to pick a question and to read it out loud. For example, we're going now to the question cards, and then we head back to the board. As you can see, there are like some question cards in the board. And imagine you pick this question: who was the winner of the Grand Beatbox Battle 2019 in the solo category? The correct answer is D-Lo, for example, like as you can see here. So imagine you pull this card after landing with your game piece on the question mark. You need to make sure that somebody else is drawing this card for you. He reads the question out loud, he or she. And if you can answer this question correctly, then you move 1 piece ahead. And this is what the game is about. So you will learn some interesting facts about the beatboxers or the beatbox community itself. And also, you will also learn some new sounds. For example, we can go to an action card. And on the action cards, you can receive some questions. For example, make a lip roll. And if you succeed making a lip roll, like, then you can also move 1 step forward and you're already 1 step closer on stage. Once more, if you reach the stage, you win the game. But there are also interesting facts about this game. If you fail, you need to, sometimes there can be written on the question, the action card, like put 1 step back, or return to start, or return to the previous room, for example, the bathroom, the bedroom, or even the park, the previous area where you went. So this is what the game is about. Let's go back to the board game. There are like some really interesting details in this board game. As you can see, there's the bedroom, there's the bathroom, there's the park, there's the party hall, studio, and stage. And it's actually kind of referring to our life as a beatboxer. Most of the beatboxers are starting right after watching a YouTube video, or right after downloading an application, or watching some TV when they see their first beatbox idol ever. They most of the time start in their bedroom, and they already find out that the acoustic for beatboxing is in the bathroom. they go jamming to park. Then after that, maybe they have their first gig in a party hall, or like just at a party or a concert. Then they're doing this stuff professionally. They're doing this in the studio, and the goal is to get on stage as much as possible, to be seen as an artist. So that's why this game is designed in that way. So yeah, we start from the bathroom, we go to the bathroom. There are like some question marks, action marks, also some 8 notes. And an 8 note would, for example, mean that you go 1 step forward. And if you have 2 8 notes, it means you can move 2 steps forward. So this is a detail that makes the game more interesting. So one more time, big shout out to Adrià from Going Creations. And yeah, let's move on. We have the -1 mark on the board game, and the -1 would actually mean that you need to put 1 step back. So it's already, it's again an interesting detail in this board game, which makes the game even more exciting. So it's not only about the beatbox education or it's not only about the beatbox education or the entertainment within beatbox, it's also the game itself, like moving step back, that makes it kind of interesting. And if you continue, you see that there's like also a broken microphone mark, and the broken microphone mark means go back to start. So that's also another cool detail. And there's also the rest mark position, which forces you to rest on this mark to, how can I say that? You need to skip 1 turn. So if you land on that mark, it means the next turn you cannot roll the dice. So yeah, that's all the info about the board game itself. So you start from the bedroom, you go to the bathroom as a beatboxer, then you jam in the park, you have your first concert in the party hall, you record your stuff professionally in the studio, and then you go on stage. This is how you win the game. By rolling the dice, move your palm forward, answering some questions correctly, and fulfilling some beatbox task, for example, making the lip roll or answering the right interesting fact about a beatboxer or about beatbox itself. But this is something you will see when you have the board game itself, of course. One more time, I'm going to mention that if we want to realize this beatbox board game, we need to have an amount of, I think if I'm not mistaken, like 7,500 or 7,700 euros to complete this crowdfunding, to have the correct amount of money, and then we can make this board game happen. Okay, let's move on to the next page. I think it would be a deeper dive into the game rules itself, even if I already told the game rules. But like I said, the game rules are actually not that hard. You will receive a small folder of info about all game materials that you should have while buying this board game. You can also see the goal of the game, how to play, what every mark means, the question mark, the action mark, the 8 note, the 2 times 8 notes and stuff. So everything in this Beatbox board game box, everything is included there, and you can start right away. The only thing that you need to be to have this board game is that you need to have a little bit of knowledge of beatbox. You need to be a beatboxer, or you need to be a beatbox, I'm not going to say expert, but you need to know beatbox. It's not only that you like it, but you already are kind of involved in the scene, or you know the most famous beatboxers, and you know the names of the skills and a little bit how to do it and stuff. So I would propose to have like a quick little rewind. Let's go to the very first picture of the box again. This is what the box will look like. So on the box, you already have all info. It will be available on Pat Webshop then. The goal is to have it like at the end of 2021, to have it on Pat Webshop and to release this actual board game after that we completed the crowdfunding. But as you can see on the Beatbox board game, there's like all info you need. So there's info about the game rules, every materials that's inside in the box, how the board also will look like, everything's there. Also on the back side of the box, you also have all info that you need, and even a little bit clearer in my opinion, but every info is included. Also with the question cards, very interesting. On the question cards, you have, for example, like I said, a question with Dilo. You have also questions about Saro, Razel. Those are Beatbox artists. But there are also some questions about not only Beatbox artists, but, for example, name some countries that can participate in the Baltic Coast Beatbox battle and those similar things. Also with the action cards, they're really different. In the action cards, you can see some questions where you need to perform a sound, which make you actually train your beatbox. It makes you have also another view on how a sound is made and stuff. And people will also tell you if you actually did the sound kind of correctly, or when you have a cool approach on the sound. So that's why this game is made. So you can have this this action card which says perform 3 different kick drums. So a good correct answer or task would be doing those kick drums, like, or even a throat kick, and then you complete the task, you move one step forward. But you also have, next to performing some sounds, you also have an action card which can say that you need to put one step backward, like the -1 mark on the board, or you need to return to start. This could also be in an action card like that. There will be 27 action cards, and there will be 27 question cards. So you have 27 question cards, 27 action cards, all included. And yeah, that's basically what this game is about. I'm surprised this went actually quicker than I thought. But now you already have all info about this Beatbox board game, and I really can't wait to release it. Every idea is finished. The designs are finished. The only thing that that I can use to release this board game is to have the correct amount of money to release this game. I will buy 1,000 pieces of this board game, and I will sell them once more on, as you can see, patwebshop.com. Before we end this live stream, I would also ask to you guys if you have questions about this board game. If you have any questions about this Beatbox board game, maybe about the design of the board itself, or the question cards, or the prices, go ahead. I have my phone with me. I can check every question that you have about this board game, and I will answer them. All right. So let's see this. I have a question from Yasmina Nistor. How much will it cost? So the Beatbox board game will cost around 30 euros. It's still depending on the price after the crowdfunding, when I actually get the boards, like the board games. But normally the Beatbox board game will cost something like 30 euros or 32, maybe even 29. It will be, for example, 30 euros. I received another question from Remy, is a member, so big shout out to Remy. Will there be an advanced challenge set, like make a trap beat with 4 different snares in each bar? That's actually a good question. Those question cards and action cards will contain basic questions, but also advanced questions. I didn't mention that yet, but yes, you will also have, for example, an action cards which ask you to perform a single sound, let's say an inward K snare, to perform it 20 times in 5 seconds. So it really challenges you in a way, or even making a trap type beat with a spit snare and a throat bass included. You will actually have those questions. So in those 27 action cards, you will have basic action or basic tasks, and you will have also some advanced tasks. So it's very interesting and it's really challenging in a way. It's good for beatbox beginners and advanced professional beatboxers, if that's an answer to your question. I will move on to the next question. So I see Dark Ninja asks, will you produce in other languages? I'm afraid it will only be in English. So English will be the main. It will be the main language for this board game. But as you can see in the questions or in the even the game rules, the question cards, the action cards, the tasks and the game rules are quite easy. So they're really similar to other board games. And if there are like difficulties within the language, you can still go through internet to check what's actually a kick drum, or what's actually the sound that you need to perform, and you don't really get it. Actually, it's really well made. I mean, the game rules are easy to understand, and the tasks are also easy to understand. So the only bad thing about it is that it will be totally in English, but the good part is that English is basically like a main language. A lot of people are speaking it, plus the fact that it's easy to understand the whole board game makes it fun to play. It's a really must-have. I can tell you that. Okay, and I received another question from Bulchrome. So it's an advance from Swiss Beatbox, not just beatbox, but something on particular like day in life. But I don't know. That's how I see it. I don't really get the question, but it's actually a deeper dive into having fun with beatbox. That's true. Yes. Okay. We have another question about a member, Jack Lupus. So big shout out to Jax. Maybe 2 different action card sets would be interesting. One advanced, one basic would be more challenging then. I could also think about separating them. Yes. That's a cool fact where I can still think about. Very nice to say that. So thank you. Succulent Presents also have a question. Will there be an online version of the board game? I didn't think about that yet, but if this board game is quite successful, then I can really think about having the online version. That would be really cool, yes. So those are 6 questions that I received. I also have a new question about Jack's Lupus. If I have 3 more questions to answer, that would be really cool, and then I think we can end this live stream. Unless there are still like more important questions, don't hesitate to ask me, people. It's really important. This board game is really the next big thing, I promise you. So, Jack's Lupus, best would be to make it happen and have some pieces for sale at GBB this year. Well, unfortunately, I don't think the board game itself will be produced before GBB. The goal is to have enough money before that 2022 happens. So I want to have it 100% finished around Christmas. So yeah, so guys, don't hesitate to help me to put some money on the crowdfunding page. Every euro is welcome, even if it's like 50 cents, it's €1, €5. Every cent matters in this thing. The Beatbox board game is really a very cool and entertaining and fun way to connect people and to be educated in a very cool and entertaining way. Right. New question from Thor Jensen. How many people can play it at once? Well, meanwhile I did the prototype, I made it from 2 to 4. So you need to be at least with 2 people to play it. And the best thing would be with maximum 4, but you could also be in groups. For example, if you are with 8 people, for example, this could work too. And you just choose a partner, and the 2 of you have just one pawn or one game piece, and you move ahead with the 2 of you. So this could work too. So the concrete answer is 2 to 4 players, but you can actually also play it with more players, but then you need to share one game piece. Asmina has a suggestion. Can you add something like guess the beatboxer by their eyes? This could be for the second version of a board game, but I don't know which that will happen. But it's a very cool thing, maybe even for the online edition with new action cards and with new action cards and new question cards. That could actually work. So thinking about this online beatbox board game, this could work. So that's a very good comment. Thank you, Yasmina. And okay, I have a new question about Remy. I want to donate, but I don't have any credit card. Is there a way to support through PayPal? Maybe a donation link at Pet Webshop. That's a good idea. I can open a crowdfunding link at Pet Webshop. I will try to finish it tonight, but stay up to date at my social media, for example, especially Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. As soon as the link on Pet Webshop for crowdfunding is also there, I will mention it. And at that way, you can also donate with PayPal or with another option. So yeah. So if you still have some more question, guys, maybe, because I still think there are like very good ideas in the comments. If you have still some ideas, or if you have some questions about this board game, don't hesitate to ask me, and we'll make the best out of this board game. This board game will be really, 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 really awesome. An interesting fact: I've been working on this board game at the end of 2019. I worked together with my aunt. I remember it was Christmas or New Year, and I told my aunt like, hey, I really have this idea to create a beatbox board game, and she said like, say no more, I will work with you. And I said like, wow, okay. And even before February happened, the beatbox board game was already finished as one prototype, but with easy illustrations and with easy question cards in Dutch and action cards in Dutch. Very all-around cards made in wood, so it was very cool, and we played it, we tested it out, and it worked, so I was very happy. But after that, to make it 100% professional and make it 100% working and to be perfect, that was a huge process, especially for the design, because now you have the option to to be in the bedroom, the bathroom, the park, the studio hall, the party hall, the studio, and the stage. And before it were just the marks without the arenas or the rooms. So thinking that I already worked on it 2 years, that's crazy. So now this board game has to happen. Yeah, and like I said, I worked on it with my aunt, and I tested it with some young beatbox students of mine in a music school in Belgium called Noisegate. Now it's called My Music, and we tested it, and it was very cool because there were some people who were asking like, how do you do this sound? And then I explained them how to do a single sound, and they were like, oh, okay, and they understood that by even playing a game you can actually level up your beatbox. So yeah. In the meantime, when I was talking, I received three more questions, so that's good. And let's say I think I can keep it with those three questions. If you still have questions, you can ask me you can, don't hesitate me to give me a DM on Instagram or on Facebook. Don't mind about that, and I will answer it because this beatbox board game needs to be huge. But okay, uh, let's answer those last questions. How do the game character pawns look like? Loop station, microphone, etc. Actually, I need to be honest, there are going to be normal pawns, so they have like a bowl on the side, and then they're going like this, like a normal game piece. But before, as a prototype, it was supposed to be a microphone. It was a microphone on the prototype, but unfortunately it will be like too much effort for prices and for design to create this too. This will maybe be for a second version of that. But the game pawns will be looking like this, just like a normal pawn with a small bowl getting wider, but in different colors, so you can still notice like, oh, this is my game piece, and oh, this is my game piece. So yeah. I have a question from Neo. Could you make the color of the cards linked with their difficulty stages? Maybe that's a good idea. Yes. So before this happens, I'll because I see this is a popular question to separate those question cards and tasks. So that's a good idea. I will take a note and we'll make this happen. How long does one game take in average? This really depends on how the game moves on by throwing a high number on the dice and to answer questions correctly. But normally this game takes something like 20 minutes or a half an hour, sometimes less, sometimes more, to actually reach the stage, so to reach the ending. So it's basically as much as other board games. So this is why I tested it for so long. I need to make sure that every detail was right, that it was moving on correctly, that you don't have two dices but just one, and that one dice would still be enough. But to give a concrete answer to your question, it will take somewhere around 15 minutes and a half an hour to actually play the game. And then you can still decide if you want to play this game again. And yeah, you can see this game is actually kind of infinite. Because one more thing that I can mention, I gave you some question cards and action cards, but if you are a real community beatboxer, like most of us are, you can create your own cards by writing something on a paper or by printing some questions that you made up. That can be funny, that can be entertainment, that can be very educative, and you can make your own questions and task and create your own game in this beatbox board game. So that's also a cool thing about it. Question for FootboxG: will the game have international shipping? Yes, the beatbox board game will be shipped worldwide. If you live in the USA, if you live in France, if you live in Belgium like I live, if you live in Iran, if you live in India, if you live in China, Japan, it doesn't matter. you are able to purchase this board game and it will be shipped worldwide. The board game needs to be delivered all around the world. And I have two more questions from Luca. Could you put the game on Kickstarter so you could get more fundings and be able to reach more new and experienced beatboxers around the world? Could be, yes, Kickstarter. You see, I'm going to write it down. Kickstarter. Very cool. Jack Lupus. Reaching the stage should include the action task to perform 60 seconds in front of the other participants. That's very cool. That's very cool. This is definitely a very cool idea. I'm going to write it immediately. 60 seconds after reaching. That's a very, very cool idea. So, like Jack Lupus said, so one more time, big shout out to Jack Lupus, member of Swiss Beatbox now. He had this question to have after reaching the stage or after reaching the end game that you need to perform for 60 seconds for the audience. That would be really cool. So let's include this in that game. Very nice. Big shout out to you. Also, the other things, I'm going to write it down, like different colors for the difficulty level. Different colors. Different colors for the difficulty level. All right. All right, so I kind of think that's it. So to have a quick summary about this board game, the board game will be delivered in the box for sure, and on the box you can already have every detail, how the board looks like. You have every info needed, like what materials is included, like the cards, the game manual, the game pieces, the dice, every info about what every mark means. So you have the question cards, you have the action cards, you have the broken microphone, which needs to take you back to the start. You have the 8 notes, the 2x8 notes, so you can move 1 step or 2 step forwards. There are different actions or tasks you need to fulfill in the action cards. There are different questions. You have everything in the game rules, and to end this, you have in the Beatbox board game, the goal is to reach the stage. One more time, you need to reach the stage starting from your bedroom, and you need to fulfill as much task and correctly answer as much questions as possible. And you will not only reach the end of the board game, but you will also become a better beatboxer, even if you don't reach the stage at first, because sometimes you need to have luck with the dice, of course. You will become a better beatboxer because of the tasks and because of the questions that you will get. So I think I'm going to end this live stream, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the nice questions and the nice ideas that you also gave to me, because this board game will be even bigger after this live stream. I would also like to thank one more time my aunt for the first prototype, together with Tessa. Turuta and Arno and his partner Growing Creations for the cool ending design, my girlfriend Ella for the professional insights, and my parents for every help, and also the beatboxers who gave me their permission to be included in the board game. As you can see, Dilo, Saro, every beatboxer that's mentioned in the board game, and also every beatboxer who helped me making those questions. So to end this live stream, I'm going to ask you one more time, guys, click on the crowdfunding page and donate your amount of money, what you want to give to make this board game happen. Every euro is welcome, every cent is welcome. At the end, the board game will be released for sure. But I can only use your help with just doing this. This will help me very much. So, guys, before ending this live stream, I'm going to do a quick live stream and then I'll thank you once more. So, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you once more, guys. Donate your money in the crowdfunding link. Give me ideas for this incredible beatbox board game and let's make this happen. Thank you very much. Peace.